going on? Jeremy back at Remy Q Studios, and I gotta be honest with you, still not my studio. But you know what? I was thinking we might just let this go. Maybe if I just record myself at enough anonymous places, it'll kind of keep you guessing. You'll never really know where the studio's at. Is there a studio? What does the studio stand for?
I'm afraid you're gonna have to start getting scared immediately.
Anyways, today I wanted to ask a question. This is going to be more towards the collectors that have been either collecting for a while or legitimately already know about slabs. I want to ask a few questions and just talk about slabs. I figure we can talk about slabs. If you're new to collecting and you don't know about what a slab is or grading of comics, there's a lot of videos out there where they go into in-depth descriptions on what the process is, how to do it, what it pertains to, and I may even do one of my own. So in the short term, if I haven't made one yet, because this is my second video, let me fix my hair here, then again, there should be other avenues that you can go as far as learning more about what a slab is, what a graded comic is, and what that process is. For me though, for right now, just as a general collector question, a comic collector question, conundrum, comic collection, conundrum, sure. Confession, collection confession.
What?
Conundrum.
What?
We'll figure something out. Anyways, as the question that I wanted to pose originally was just kind of what types of slabs do folks look for? I know that because of the different labels, some are considered big no-nos. You try to avoid them if possible. Usually, well, in general, actually, I guess a slab book in general is still kind of controversial.
I'm sorry, I was all the way over here. I couldn't hear you.
To a certain extent, because some folks are very hardcore, true believers. A comic is what a comic is. It should be read. You encapsulate it. You lose the idea that it can be read or that it can be enjoyed, and then it's just something that you look at. My personal thoughts on that is I usually don't open them anyways. You know, if I want to look at it, I try to find an avenue online, something I can look at. I'll get a reader's copy. So usually if I get a book that is in excellent condition, for the most part, I don't want to open it. From a collector's perspective, I feel more comfortable if it's encapsulated. I know that when I get a box of books in, I have a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old. I don't necessarily like to pass out the books that I have. If I have a slab, that's a little different. I can hand a 9-year-old the slab and say, hey, check this out. And it's something that is a little easier to, I guess, to pass around and to look at, that I feel more comfortable with. I think from a display perspective, slabs are beautiful. I know that some of them get that kind of oily look, and a lot of folks that are new to slabs don't really care for that. It's just, you know, plastic on plastic. It's kind of something that happens to certain slabs. I'm not particular about that at all. Another thing is the color label that you have. Personally, when I get slabs,
I love gold.
You know, anything that has some sort of signature on it, it's something I kind of search for that I think makes it a little more unique. This is the Inhuman #1. It's a 5.5. Okay, it's not a huge grade that you're going to get on this. However, it's signed by George Perez. It's pretty cool. You're just not going to find that in every book. And I'll tell you, this particular one, even at a 5, a couple ticks, it really it presents well, I guess. You know, everybody talks about how it presents. I mean, this is a beautiful looking book. It's a 5.5. Now, when you get into the 9s, again, I'm from the perspective of a collector that, if you already are aware, then you know 9.2, 9.6, 9.8, there is a big difference in those. I mean, this was maybe $1,000 difference between the signed copy of this Shazam #1 in a 9.8 versus the 9.2. But what I like about it is that the 9.2, obviously obtainable for myself, because I didn't have to spend an extra grand on it. And it's something that I can enjoy, and it's something that's signed, and that is unique. So, question on the labels is mostly green labels. You know, as I personally try to avoid green labels. I know some of them will have missing advertisements, but they're not going to necessarily affect the story. There's just something about a green label. I would prefer to have a complete book. Now, that leads into restored labels if we're just talking CGC, which is kind of the gold standard. However, I think the CBCS is going to, now that Beckett has them and everything, I think that is going to really even out or even kind of take over. But for right now, we'll go by CGC. But the purple label, restored books, you know, what are the thoughts on there? For me, I don't mind if it's restored at all. You know, I think the only time that something is kind of controversial as far as a restoration is if it's done with the intent, I guess, of selling it to somebody without letting them know. So if I had, and I don't have any CGC examples, but if I had a purple label example, I've got one coming in that I could show you, it wouldn't matter. This just happens. Sorry, it's Skeletor. But if I had an example of the purple label to show you, again, that doesn't bother me. My feeling on that, you know, because I know that some folks are okay with the purple label as long as it's something that I guess could be reversed. So if there's color touch-ups or something on the cover that you can remove, then they feel that it's passable. If it's been cut or something like that, trimmed, obviously you can't undo that, so they're really against that. I don't care. I really don't. You know, I mean, for me, if you press a book, that's restoring it. I mean, they don't count that, but let's be honest. If you press a book, you're taking a defect and then correcting it. And books get pressed all the time, and nobody thinks anything of it. And so I think, you know, if you could do that, you know, a little color restoration. I mean, if somebody's, you know, trying to keep the book together, you know, in an attempt to keep it together, obviously, again, I wouldn't want to buy something under the impression that it's a 9.0 and then come to find out, you know, it's actually a 4, and then they glued the pages together. However, you know, if it was a, if I was aware of it, then yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have an issue with it. And that's actually where I do like CGC labeling the purple labels. They give you an indication on what has been done, and you at least know kind of a fair assessment on what you're getting. Again, unfortunately, I kind of stick to the gold. I know that I said that, but you know, I try to pick up you know, different examples of those. Which this kind of leads me into another question that I have for collectors. What are your thoughts on celebrity signatures? Celebrity signature, you know, celebrity signature. This is an artist signature. This is, again, celebrity signature. You know, and it's not that I'm out for it, but celebrity signature. All these are, again, I've got a few coming in, but I mean, these are all artist signatures. So, you know, I kind of have a blend myself, but for me, one thing that I try to look for, if it is an artist signature, I do like for the artist to be involved with that particular book. Preferably get the cover artist to sign the book itself. I'm not really into writer signatures. Nothing against writers, and there are a few that I am fans of, but still, it's kind of the, if I have the writer, I still would like to have the cover artist included. And a lot of purchasing for me is around the cover, around that artwork. Again, I look at it more like artwork. I like the celebrity signatures as well. If it's somebody that had a part of, if it was a movie, Zachary Levi, love the movie. I want to get Shazam. So there. I don't have a problem with it. I know that I've got a couple coming in for creators, not necessarily the cover art. And I actually, now that I think about it, I think I did specify a book that the creator had worked on the cover for. I'll do an unboxing later this week. But anyway, so I just wanted to pose that question. I wanted to see kind of what folks are looking for, collectors are looking for, what the preferences that you might have are out there. Do you prefer gold labels, blue labels, green labels, purple labels? Do you discriminate against any of those? Do you lean more towards a CBCS book versus a CGC? I don't. I mean, I have CGC, but I don't care either way who grades it, you know what I mean? I think that having a slab is something really cool that, again, you can hang up. Hopefully get the studio going, I can hang it up. But just wanted to pose that question, just see what folks are thinking, what they prefer. Is there anything that you avoid? Is there anything that you would avoid, or that you have preference to? And then, the difference in signatures themselves. What happens if it's a writer versus an artist? What happens if it's a celebrity versus somebody that worked on that book? Just posing the question out there, putting it out there. Again, I hope that you like this video. I know it was short. Just trying to get some content out there and, again, see what folks are looking for. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you do, please give me a like. Put a comment down at the bottom. You can subscribe if you'd like to. I would like to get some more subscribers. But anyways, I will do some more unboxing. Just wanted to kind of get this question out there and just to see what folks were thinking. Get the community talking a little bit and try to identify some more of those with myself. So thanks again for joining me at Remy Q Studios, and I'll see you next time.